Hey y'all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, this is the start of my 2024 declutter series. I am so excited to jump into this, and today I am going to be talking all about my base products. So how I do these is I'm going to show you my entire collection. You're going to see in this video all of my concealers, my primers, you're going to see all my foundations, my tinted moisturizers, everything like that, and I'm going to declutter what is no longer serving me. Now, a few things to note. Number one, anything that I get rid of is just going to be going to friends and family as they are used, so I do not feel comfortable giving away my used makeup to strangers on the internet. Also, you are going to see videos for each category that I declutter. So face base, you're going to see blushes and bronzers, you're going to see eye palettes, you're going to see every single piece of makeup in my collection in individual videos, but at the very, very end, sometime in December, you are going to see a wrap up where I'm going to combine all those videos into one monster declutter of 2024. So if you feel like sitting back, relaxing, and waiting for that video, you can do it. You can watch all the individual videos. You can do all of them. I would love if you'd watch all of them, but let's get started. I have to admit that with this declutter series, I'm a bit nervous that I'm not going to get rid of enough. Now, no one's telling me to get rid of anything, but I want to clear out my collection because I want to reorganize my entire cabinet and I just want to start fresh. So truth be told, I'm recording this first one in mid-October, okay? I'm recording this a long time from when you're going to see it, but nonetheless, I want to start now, and I don't foresee a lot of base products coming into my collection between now and the time you're watching this. So let's get started. Today, I am going to be decluttering my base products. So we are talking about base powder, foundation, tinted moisturizers, primers, and concealers. I think that's it. I also did put my backups in here because if I start to have an excessive amount of backups, that's not going to do any of us any good. So we are going to look over my whole collection. I will get rid of as much as I can. And honestly, like, I just use this basket to transport everything, but this is going to be my declutter basket. And I'm going to be putting everything in here that I'm decluttering. So we'll be able to see as we go along, and this is going to stack way up by the end of my declutter series. So this is actually all of the powders that I own, and the only things that I wanted to put in this category are things that are just powders. So I do have a couple of setting powders that are in palettes and things like that, but these are just powders. And I think it's time to declutter quite a few of these, if I'm being honest, because I already know there's ones of these that I don't love. So we're going to start and go left to right. We're going to start with the Lottie London Translucent Setting Powder. I didn't see anything wrong with this, but to be honest, it just really didn't do it for me. It was okay. I did feel like it had a tiny bit of a white cast. You can see like some translucent powders are sort of, you know, like a pinkish undertone. Some are completely, you know, they have color to them. This is marketed as translucent, and it even says true translucent, and I just don't feel like it was for me. So this is the first thing that I'm talking about, and it's the first thing that can go. This is also another translucent powder. So this is the ColourPop No Filter Loose Setting Powder. I do feel like this is a nice setting powder. I really do, especially for the cost and the accessibility. I really do enjoy this, but if I'm being honest, there are other loose powders that I have that I enjoy better than this one. So I think this one can actually go too. And I think somebody's gonna really love this. Like, I do love this setting powder, but I don't use it enough to justify keeping it right now. So this can go. This is one that is definitely staying. So this is my Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder. I have, let me see which one. So this is the one I've been using. This is a backup. They are both in the shade, is it Vanilla or Vanilla Bean? It's Vanilla Bean. And I really, really enjoy this setting powder. It is really finely milled. As you can see, and as you know from the name, it does have like a tone to it. So you can choose the one that matches you best. This is for when I want, I was gonna say a more buildable powder coverage. Like, I never use a powder foundation. That is not my journey, but I do use a powder sometimes to just really mattify. Other times I'm just using it to like barely set my makeup. So I do like how this one is quite buildable. And since this is a favorite product of mine, I am keeping both the one that I'm using and the backup so that I have it ready to go. Sticking with loose powders, this is one that's very new to my collection. This is the Melt It's Alive. Is it It's Alive or She's Alive? It's She's Alive, excuse me. Loose setting powder. This is also translucent, but as you can probably tell, it does have a bit of a pinkish undertone to it. This powder has been so nice. Now, truthfully, I've only had this like a week and a half at the time of filming, but I've been using this every single time I do my makeup to set my face, and it has been amazing. It is very finely milled and silky. It does take down any kind of shine, but at the same time, it doesn't look like I have powder on my face. That's my biggest gripe with powders. I don't want it to look like I have powder on my face. I just want it to look like my skin, and this does an amazing job of that. So as of right now, this is absolutely staying. Right now, I think this might be, I don't know. I was gonna say I can't decide which of these is my favorite for loose setting, but considering it's the only two loose setting powders I'm keeping, you can tell I love both. Oh, pressed powders. This is a tough one for me because, you know what, I mean, well, the thing is, I don't have to get rid of anything. And I don't think I'm going to. This, I absolutely should get rid of. This is disgusting, okay? I am going to admit how gross I am to you all right now. This is my Kosas Cloud Set Powder in Breezy. The lid broke off a long time ago. Now, I do keep this in a drawer, so it's not like it's just sitting on top of a counter or anything like that. But nonetheless, the lid broke off. I should get rid of it, but there's so little left. I just want to finish this. And when I finish it, I will buy another one because I really enjoyed this powder. I feel like it does, just like I said with this, I feel like it does a good job of setting my makeup without looking cakey, without looking powdery. And this shade is my perfect shade, so I'm actually keeping this. I'm gonna skip over the ColourPop for now, and I'm going to go to the Charlotte Tilbury. This is another one. Like, look how much of a dip I have in there. Absolutely keeping it. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in shade number 2. I absolutely love this. This is another one I will repurchase as soon as it's empty. It's fantastic. This is a bit more buildable, I'd say, than this. This is more of like a sheer. This is definitely, you can build it up a bit more for days where I need a little bit more mattifying or a little bit more coverage or a little bit more staying power. That's what I use this one for. Love this powder. This is slightly more expensive, but I am absolutely keeping it. This is one I'm not sure about. You know what? I'm going to keep it. I lied. I'm going to keep it. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. You can probably see I have a pretty significant dip in there because I really do use this quite a lot. My shade is Light 6. And this is one, again, that you can build up a bit more. Hi, how are you? This is one you can build up a bit more. I really do enjoy this. It comes with a powder puff, and I'm not gonna lie, I've used it. It's kind of gross that I keep putting it back in, but I do enjoy this, and I think that this is a great one for, not just for the price, but in general. So let's see, I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I am keeping 6 of the 8. So here are all of my face primers, and I have a total of 7. 3 of them are obviously the same. So you know what, let's start here. This is the Smashbox Original Photo Finish. This is a classic product, right? This is so classic. This is the one, just to double check, that I've been using. I go back to this time and time again. This is a favorite. Wait a minute, I just realized I forgot a primer. Anyway, back to what I was saying, this is definitely a favorite. I really enjoy this. This has more of like a silicone-y feel, so I feel like makeup really glides over it. Now, do I love it so much that I need 3? The answer is no. So let me just double check. This one is sealed, so you know what? I am going to keep these 2, and I'm gonna let the one that's brand new in the box go into my declutter, because I feel like I would love to gift this to somebody brand new in the box. I really do love this, but I don't need 3. This is one I have not even tried yet. So this is the, well, no, I did. I haven't tried this with foundation yet. So this is by Billion Dollar Beauty, and this is their gold infused illuminator, and it's really beautiful. Now, the reason I put this in primers and not in highlighters is because of the formula. I do not feel like the formula is enough to be called a highlighter because it is very, very, very subtle, but let me see, will I use this? I think this is very, very pretty. I really do. And this is an item that I chose when Billion Dollar Beauty asked me if I wanted to sample some of their stuff. But I think I might let this one go because I have other illuminators sort of like this that I can already tell I kind of like the formula a bit better. This is really beautiful though. Oh, damn, do I want to let that... You know what, I haven't used it yet. I feel like I need to at least give this a try before getting rid of it. So I'm gonna keep and hang on to this. This will absolutely never go. This is my Art Glow Lust in Selenite. And to be fair, I do have it in Morganite as well that I'm going to keep. This is my glowy illuminator of choice. It is so beautiful. It is so stunning. This, I kind of not apply everything, but I'm not going to apply foundations today. But like, this is the kind of glow that I'm always looking for. I wear this almost daily under my foundation or as a liquid highlight. It's glowy, but yet it's light enough where it doesn't feel like you're wearing another layer underneath your foundation, which is what I appreciate because I don't want 10 million layers. I just want to have that glow. This is absolutely staying. As far as the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow, this is also staying. You can see I'm almost finished with this, so I kind of want to see this one through to the end. This is a clear primer that does give your skin a glow. So I use this specifically when I want more of a natural glow, not a gold glow, not a highlighter glow, just a natural looking glow. And I'll use this under my foundations. I will also sometimes use this under foundations that tend to be, I don't know, a little bit thicker. I feel like this helps like to not necessarily thin it out, but it just makes the coverage, you can go a little bit more sheer. So this is staying. I'll be honest, I should get rid of this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. My shade is light number 2. You can see, guys, the stamping on the outside, it's all gone except for that little tiny bit that's left. And look, even if I rub my finger on it, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like flaking off. This is similar in a way to the Art Glow Lust, but I do like the Glow Lust better. I am still going to keep this because I have so little left. It's so hard to see, but this is another like illuminating primer that you can wear under your makeup just to bring forth even more of a glow. I really enjoy this, so this is one that I'm going to keep. And finally, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, absolutely hanging on to this. This is the one that I use when I need my foundation to last. If I'm going to an event and I need it to last, this is hands down the one I go for every time. This is the one that has a bit more of a sticky feel to it, and it really grips your foundation. It holds it on and it keeps it lasting much longer. So I'm going to keep this. What that means is I'm keeping 7 and getting rid of 1. I did find one more primer and I haven't used this yet and I want to give it a shot. This is the What's Up Beauty Positivity Lightweight Hydrating Face Primer. I've heard amazing things about this, so I'm also keeping this. So total, we have 7 concealers here. And what's funny is that 3 of these are not even concealers, but let's go ahead and start here. As you can see, these are new in the box. This is the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow Concealer. I have not had a chance to use this yet, and I'm going to use this. I really am curious about these, so these are going to stay. And like I said, I want the point of this to be showing you my entire collection, even the stuff I haven't used yet, so that this helps me to kind of like know what's in my collection. But let's move on. Again, this is not a concealer. So this is the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow Under Eye Brightener. And I really, really like this. So I use this as almost like the very last step of my skincare routine before I put on makeup. So I use this after sunblock, before I put on any primer, before I put on any concealer, anything. It looks white. I can guarantee you it is not completely white. It's just the bottle. It is like completely clear. This just primes my under eyes for makeup while still giving it a bit of a glow. I really, really enjoy this. It's very lightweight, very hydrating. This is a keep. Next, I'm going to kind of put these 2 together because I know I'm only going to keep 1. These are the 2 full coverage concealers I have. One is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie. The other is the Kokie Double Time Full Coverage Concealer. I am not a full coverage concealer kind of girl. Now, I like to keep one on hand in case I have an event I need to go to or something where I really need a bit of a heavier coverage. So when it comes between these 2, I think I'm going to pick the Urban Decay only because the Koki one is a little too light for me. They are both very similar though. They are both full coverage. They are both quite hydrating, but again, like, I'm not a full coverage girl. My under eyes are a little bit dry. I am, 44 years old, so I do have creasing under my eyes. I do have wrinkles, and I just want something that's gonna, behave with that. So the Koki is going to go and the Quickie can stay. Then this, if you know me at all, this is going nowhere. Let's see, this one has more fingerprints. Is this the most used one? Yes. So this is the Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in Light. This is my absolute favorite concealer. Now, like I said, this is technically not a concealer. This is supposed to be for color correcting, but I bounce my brush back and forth between these equally, and it is my perfect shade of concealer. It is creamy. It is lightweight. It is hydrating. It is literally everything I've ever wanted in a concealer. It's perfection. This is a backup of the same one. I could not have enough backups of this because this is going to be my go-to. Once I find a concealer, I stick with it for years. This is the one, so she is staying. So out of 7, I am keeping 6 and getting rid and decluttering 1. We are moving on to tinted moisturizer. I'm keeping all of this. I'm keeping all of this because I am a tinted moisturizer fiend, and that is my preferred method of foundation. Like, I'm keeping all of this, but let's go over what I have anyway. So first, let's start with the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This I consider to be a sort of hybrid between a typical foundation and a tinted moisturizer. It is lighter than your average foundation, but it is not quite as light as a tinted moisturizer. So to be honest, this is what I use when I'm looking for foundation for the most part. For the most part, we still need to get into actual foundation, but I love these. So my perfect match is mixing shades 40 and 30, and I do have a backup of 30 because that's the one that I go through a little bit quicker, but I am keeping all of these for sure. Next is the Sigma Skin Perfector Hydrating Tint. So I have 2 colors, okay? These are both number 3. All the packaging looks the same, which I have to admit, I wish that these were a little bit different so you could tell different shades, but this is shade 4 here. Shade 3, I have 2 of, and I'm almost finished the one. The other one is a backup. This is my perfect shade, and this is such a favorite of mine when it comes to tinted moisturizer because these are lightweight enough, but you can build them up slightly, and they're just fantastic. These feel like skincare. They feel like beautiful, hydrating skincare. Absolutely love it. Now, shade 4, I will admit, is a touch too deep for me, but I was mixing it in the summer months, but now that we're inching towards the colder months, do I pass this on? I think I'm gonna hold on to it, to be honest, because I really love this formula and I want to keep it. So the Say Slip Tint, absolutely staying. This is such a fantastic tinted moisturizer. Now, this is the glowiest tinted moisturizer I have, and I'd say also one of the more lightweight ones. It is just incredibly glowy. It does have SPF 35. Really love this. You can see I am going through this tube. I will repurchase too. I enjoy using, what I love about these tinted moisturizers also that I'm showing you, I use all of these interchangeably. Like, I wouldn't say that there's one that I'm using more than others. I use all of these interchangeably. So it just really is what I pick up that day. Really enjoyed the Say. I think it's great quality. The Tower 28 Sunny Days has long been a favorite of mine. This is fantastic. It also has SPF 30 in it, and they call this more a tinted sunscreen. This is very lightweight. My shade is Mulholland, I think, yes. Just fantastic overall. I really, really enjoy this one. Next, we have the Smashbox Halo Glow. So I have this in both, it's the same shade, and they're both open and being used. I have it in a 1 ounce and the full size, which is 1.4. So wait, no, this is 0.41 and this is 1.4. I really enjoyed this tinted moisturizer. It is fantastic. It is very glowy. Again, we also do have broad spectrum SPF 25 in here. This is very glowy, but I do feel like this provides slightly more coverage than some of the other ones. So I really, really love this. So these are all staying. These are all staying. I'm not getting rid of a single one. Now these are what I consider to be my actual foundations, but that's kind of a lie because one of these is a concealer. And the reason, because let's start there actually. So as far as my Salt New York palette, this is staying, you can pry this out of my cold dead hands. This is foundation on this side, then this is concealer on this side. You can probably tell how big of a dip there is in all of these. I love these. These are so creamy and buildable and hydrating and everything I look for in an actual foundation. They are so beautiful. And these are some backups. So this is the hydrating skin tint in N12 and N13. I believe we have N12 and 13. And then the Best Case Concealer, which is, I don't know which one is N13, but I will always take a backup of this. If you have not yet tried Salt New York, I highly suggest trying them. The formula is unlike anything you've tried before. I can guarantee it. And if you're somebody who likes to be a minimalist when it comes to makeup, you can get one of these beautiful quads and just put your shade of foundation, concealer, bronzer, and blush, and then you have your entire face in one little palette. These are so beautiful and classy and just well made. I'm keeping all of this. Going over here, this is a very discontinued foundation. You will see this in every single declutter I do, and it will stay in every single declutter. This is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. My perfect match is a mix between shades 40 and 10, which I know that seems like a drastic change, but it's beautiful. So this is the glowiest, most hydrating foundation I've ever tried, and it's discontinued, which breaks my heart. I will admit, one of my low buy rules to myself is to use the good stuff and not save it for a rainy day or a special occasion. This is my exception. I save this for special occasions when I want to look my absolute best because I can't get this anymore. I do have a backup of 10, which is good, but 10 is going to be too light for me on its own, so I don't know what I'm going to do when my 40 runs out. I love this foundation. I wish they'd bring this formula back. I know they won't, but I wish they would. It's my favorite. This is staying. My Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is staying. Look how close I am to being done. What's so funny is, I don't know if you can tell, look at the color on the front, and then when I flip it over, see how much deeper it is there? That's because I am at the point where every time I use it, I have to mix it around. There is so little left in here, but this is a foundation I will likely repurchase. This is fantastic in that it feels lightweight on the skin, but it is definitely a foundation. This is not a tinted moisturizer, so it does have more coverage, but it is a medium coverage, which is nice. And it just feels beautiful. I want to finish this, so I feel good. Then let's talk about these three. It is finally time. I'm letting this go. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation, Serum Foundation. I have almost decluttered this like a million times, and each time I use it, here's my thing about it. Does it look pretty? It can look pretty, yes. But does it take work to get there? It does. And why do I want my makeup to take work rather than just working for me? So after a while, I feel like this can finally go. It is nice, but I do feel like it takes more work than anything else on this table. So this is gonna go. Finally, we have the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. This is a little bit more of a coverage, but I do enjoy it. I wanna play with this more. I have shades 10 and 12. I am just gonna keep 10. 12 is just a little bit too deep for me, but I do like how this is in a dropper format and you can use just like a very little bit or you can build it up. It is nice, so I'm gonna hang on to it for now. So out of my foundations, let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I am keeping 9, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I guess we're starting out interestingly because I am decluttering a total of 6 items total. 6 items. You know what though? That's 6 things out of my collection that I just wasn't using as much or that can go on to somebody else and bring them lots of joy. So I am happy with that. I am happy that I'm getting rid of some stuff but keeping the things that bring me joy. This basket will be used for the entire declutter series, so I'm hoping, I want this basket to be full or almost full by the time this series is over. So make sure you keep on watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up so I know to do more declutters and get rid of stuff. It feels so good to get rid of things. So you all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout. And as always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars.